Okay. Yeah, last week we already learned about if else. So let me review a little bit. If conditional statement should be ended with an if. So if you use Python, maybe you know that if, and then yeah, you can give condition, and you don't need to write an if. But when you write in Django, you need to have if and an if. And next, when you define else, it is similar with Python. And when you define additional conditions, such as like this one, then you can have else if. But the difference is you don't need to put the colon when you write in Python. You need to have colon to distinguish after if and then the statement. But in Django, you just need to have if. And then you can define this variable. Yeah. This variable means the variable that you already created in the backend. So if you still remember the backend, which is the fuse.py. In the fuse.py, we have the variable warranty. So when we have the variable warranty, whenever we call warranty, so it will be connected to the variable WARR in the backend. Because we have defined context1 here, we want to render it into the hello if.html, and then the hello if HTML, whenever it contains any variable that has been defined in the context1, it will connect to the backend variable. So for example, we have var A and var B. What is var A and var B? So in this case, we need to see the var A here refers to the var A in the backend. The var B here refers to the var B in the backend. So we have 8 for the variable A, and then we have 5 for the variable B. And if you check, 8 is greater than 5. Yes, then you will print this thing. So for A, you need to define with 2 curly brackets. If you define with 2 curly brackets, it means it is the variable that you need to connect to the backend. The same with this statement, else if, it is the statement after if, else if, else, and we need to end it with the end. Okay. We can have the operator. I think you know in the conditional statement in Python, we have also and, not, or. So we have the conditional like this one, var A is greater than var B. Okay. So we can create another condition like this one. Let me make additional statement. So if you directly copy and paste the code from PowerPoint to the HTML, there might be some kind of text problem. Okay. So in this case, yeah, you need to fix according to your knowledge. So in this case, Okay, let me. Okay, there is some problem with this one. PR, RB. So PR is here, and then we have RB here. Okay, then we have else, we have and if. So the structure will be something like this one. If var A is greater than 5 and var B is less than 8. So we have the operator and. It means if it is true and if it is true, then we will do this statement. Okay. Var A is greater than 5. Var A is 8 greater than 5. Yes. And then var B is less than 8. 5 is less than 8. Yes, it is true. So because both conditions are true, then we have this statement. Okay. Let me run. Okay. First, you know that the link will not work because we are creating our application in the folder post. And now we are entering in the second or number 2. So number 2 means the hello if. Although you cannot see the HTML file in this link, but we know that number 2, it is the hello if.html. So you can see the result. Yes, 8 is greater than 5 and 5 is less than 8. And it is true. So let's say if I want to change let's say I change this one into 8. Okay. So I change the variable b into 8. What happened? So the upper part change to 8 equals to 8, and then this condition become false. What is the meaning by false? Here, if you look at the code, so if the condition is true and true, then it will go this. So this is true and this is false. Then we will go to false. So it is the same with the template for the Python. If it is and, then the put condition should be true to result true. If it is not, then negate a given variable. And if it is or, either condition should be true to result true. There is a kind of limitation with this statement. For the if tags do not allow and or clauses within the same tag. So if you put and or in the same statement, then it is wrong. You cannot put those in the same syntax, in the same line, because the order of logic will be ambiguous. Which one is the first? And first or first? If it is true, If it is true, then no problem. But if it is true, if it is false, and if it is true, then it is ambiguous. Okay. So it is not allowed or it is not recommended when you use like this kind of statement. So if you need to combine and or to do the advanced logic, you just use the nested if. Nested if means you can have if and then you have another if. So this is different with the if, else if. So do you know the difference? When you use the if and else if, so if the condition is true, then you go to another statement. But if the condition is false, you will go to else if. But in this case, when the condition is true, you will do this one. Another if will be checked. And if the condition is true, then you do this. Okay. So for example, this is if athlete list. So if the person is in the athlete list, and if the coach list, if the person is in the coach list, and or if the person is in the cheerleader list, then we have athletes and either coaches or cheerleaders. Because you define two if, then you need to write two and if. Okay, that's the structure of an if. For. The for tag allows you to look over each item in a sequence. As in Python's for statement, the syntax is for x in y, where y is the sequence to loop over and x is the name of the variable to use for a particular cycle of the loop. Okay, maybe it's a little bit complex, so let's see with examples. Okay. So for each time you'll go through the loop, the template system will render everything between for and for. So if you have the if, you need to end it with the and if. If you have for, you need to end with and for. So for example, this one, for an athlete in the athlete list, I want to check the name. So the athlete name will be shown, and then we should finish with the and for. Let's see. Let's make another views.py. Now I'm going to use some functions date time. I will open the views.py and then I will make new function. So this new function is a for loop function, and I define this one. Okay, I will explain later. After we have the views.py, so after you decide the backend, now I want to decide how the URL works in the Django. So I will make a new path. So let's say I'm just using 3. Okay, so I will put it into the urls.py. Okay, so I will make a new path. It means if you write 3 dash like this, 3 slash like this, then you will connect to the file views and you will run for loop function. And then let's make a new HTML file. So this HTML file is, okay, it is a little bit long. Okay, please check. I will explain one by one what does it mean. So we are going to make an HTML file hello4.html, and let's make in the folder templates. So in the folder templates, let's make an HTML file hello4. And then you can just replace the file with the code that I give in the PowerPoint. Okay. Now let's look at the result. When you run this code, you need to put the 3 slash to represent the link. Okay. So let's see one by one, what does it mean by this for loop? We have for loop 0. So if you want to know what is the meaning by 0, we have for loop today. What is today? This is a variable, and we are going to check the backend. So the backend today refers to the variable today. So the variable today is that time, today, and weekday. So if you already learned Python, do you know what does it mean by this one? No, Monday. Okay. So I give the definition here. If it is Monday, then it will be 0. If it is Tuesday, it will be 1. So we have 7 days in a week. That Monday will be 0, 1 is Tuesday, 2 is Wednesday, 3 is Thursday, 4 Friday, 5 Saturday, and 6 Sunday. Sorry. Okay, so we have 0 until 6. And today is Monday. That's why the result is 0. So you can change with the other variable. Let's say I want to show the date time like this one: year, month, and day. So if you run, then you will see the result. The date function will appear in the HTML file. So you can, or maybe I want to check what is the day of 2018, March 26. Okay, so in the particular day you want to know, then, oh, it is 0, then it is Monday. Okay. Next, I have a for loop. So as I mentioned to you, for loop should be started with for, and then we should end with end for. So let's suppose I have I and I want to check whether I is in this string. Okay. How do you know it is string? It is with the single quote. Okay. So it is a string 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, sorry, 0 until 9. And then it is also the same if you have like list. Okay. List 0 and then 1 and then sorry 1, 2 and until 9 with a string. So I have the for loop counter 0. The result is 0 until 9. Okay, this is the description. If it is counter, so the current iteration of the loop, it is I index, or no, sorry, 1 index. It will be started from 1. If it is counter 0, then the current iteration of the loop, it will be based on the 0 index. Some computer programming, they have the 0 index, sorry, most of them 0 index, but some of them they have 1 index. For example, if you use R, the array will start from 1. If you use Python, Java, C, C++, C#, they will start from 0 for the array. Okay. So they try to give more description. If you want to start from 1, then you will use counter. If you want to start from 0, then you will use counter 0. So the second one, let's assume we have a very huge string like this, x, 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 x. And I want to start the counter. I know that the counter and the counter 0, it has different way to count the index. If it is counter 0, it will start from 0. If I use counter, it will start from 1. So you can see now it starts from the index 1. Okay. Or you can put more example to distinguish this one. So you can do with the counter only for this. I need to put the PR to distinguish. Okay, what you can see is now the index starts from 1. If you use the counter, yeah, the index will start from 1 and then it will be repeated until the number of the data. What about ref counter? Ref means reverse. Ref counter, the number of iteration from the end of the loop until the 1 index. If it is ref counter 0, it is the number of iteration from the end of the loop until 0 index. So the ref counter means the reverse, it will be from the last index. So the last index is 26 and then it will be reduced until 1. If we want to go to 0 index, then it will be from 25 and it will be decreasing until 0. We have first and we have last. So what does it mean? So we want to check whether it is the first of the loop or not. So if it is true, if this is the first time, true loop. And the last, it is true if it is the last time, true loop. So this is the first This is the last. Okay. Now let's see. True. This is the first, and then the remaining will be false. The second one, we want to check the last. So everything will be false until the last index it is true. Okay. And now I'm going to check for I in the weekday. What is weekday? Weekday is the variable weekday here, and it goes to the variable weekday in the backend. So we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And for every variable, I would like to print it. So for I in weekday, I would like to print I. The variable I will be in between the two curly brackets, and then we should make the n with n4. Okay. For loop with the parent loop. Okay. Sometimes we need to consider multiple for. When we have the multiple for or nested loops, so we need to find out what is the above one. So it is different with the common for loop in the Python. So here we need to define what is the parent. So we have the parent loop. It is the above current one. Let's see the example. So we have Monday 1, Monday 1, Monday 1, Monday 1. So for every I in weekday, and then for every j in x, 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 x. So this is just a string. Okay. So I would like to print I. What's I? I is an element of weekday. And then I have the parent loop counter. Parent loop counter means I will use the parent loop, which is this one, as the counter. So you can see here, I will have Monday 1, Monday 1, Monday 1, and then Tuesday 2, Tuesday 2, Tuesday 2, and then Wednesday 3, Wednesday 3, Wednesday 3, Thursday 4, 4, and so on. So the counter will follow the parent. Now, let's suppose I have the another for loop. This one. Okay. If I don't use this for loop counter, what happened? Now becomes Monday 1, Monday 2, Monday 3, Monday 4. What does it mean? At the first time, we print Monday, and we know that there are 4x. Okay. We know that there are 4x. So we do not follow the parent loop counter, but we follow the number of counters in the second loop. Because we do not use parent loop, we just do the counter. What is the counter? Counter means the loop starting from index 1. if we change this one to counter 0, then it will change to the index from 0. Okay. The same if I change this one, I start the counter from 0, and it will be starting from 0, and then next counter will be 1, and the next counter will be 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. Can you understand? So the parent loop means for every counter, it will be depending on the parent. On this case, this one. Now, let me change. What if I change this to this one? What will be the result? Okay. Okay, so can you think what will be shown in the HTML? The pattern loop will follow the chain. It means we start from the index 0. So we will print Sunday. We will print Monday, because everything will be starting from 0. But this one will follow the loop. So Monday, 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 Monday. So I'm wrong. What does it mean? Oh, so okay. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It will be printed on. Why? Because here, okay, for every for loop, we will finish this one and then we will return back to the parent loop. But how many data do we have here? We have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. What does it mean by this parent loop? We will count for 4 times, because the parent loop only have 4 times. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and the index will start from 0. Okay. Yeah, this one is a little bit complicated. Yeah, when you deal with the for loop in the Django. Okay, but I think if you understand the common for loop, then you will not have difficulties to understand it one. Maybe the concept of parent loop is a little bit complex. Yeah. Yeah, this is the definition, more complete, the definition about the counter. You need to set an integer, set to an integer representing the number of times the loop has been entered. And then counter 0, like for loop counter, except it's 0 index. So it will be set to 0 for the first time through the loop. The ref counter means the reverse. The ref counter 0 means also the reverse, it will go to 0 index. The first and the last, yeah, we will start from the first of the array, or we want to check whether it is the last of the array. So the parent loop, it will be the for loop from the parent loop. Okay, so this one is the explanation. The for loop in Django, it is possible to nest the for, but there is no support for break. In Python, you can learn with break and continue. But in the Django, there is no break, there is no continue. Okay. So please pay attention on this one. Okay. So if you want to accomplish this, so you need to change the variable you are looping over so that it includes only the value that you want to loop over. Okay. There is no break, there is no continue. So just try to loop what you want to show. If equal, if not equal. So we want to compare two values and display everything in between if equal and if equal. So if the values are equal, then it will be shown. If the values are not equal, then it will not be shown. So because it is if, okay, if equal, because it is using if, so it supports also else. Now let's see. So let's put one more function in the views.py. Okay, and then let's have one more line to indicate the if equal function. So you can put it into the polls.urls. Okay, so we have for to indicate the execution of if equal function. And then let's make a new HTML file, hello if equal.html. Hello if equal.html. So in this case, so do you have the same problem? No? Why?